Hello everyone. Today I'm joined with one of the winners of Monomosame's international essay competition, and I'm glad to introduce Mr. Chang. He has joined me today for an interview. Thank you for coming here. Well, he belongs to a very small village from Yangpi, Nagaland, and appearing in a NEET medical exams. He qualified it and waiting for the allocation of college. So, thank you for joining me today. First of all, how did you find Monomosame?
Okay, well, it's actually a pleasure to meet you. So the answer to your the the answer to your question is like right from my childhood days, right from my schooling days, so to say, whenever there was any offline competition, then I tried to grab that opportunity so that I could be a part of that competition. So till 2019, I did all my best to be a part of any competition as far as I can. But unfortunately, because of COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown, I was unable to take part in any of the offline competition. But in order to keep my eagerness of writing in balance despite the pandemic, I browse on the internet to see and explore whether if there is any online competition so that I could take that platform to be a part of that contest. So slowly and steadily as I was browsing on the internet, fortunately to my investment, I found out that Monomosame is also organizing a series of competition for writing experience, for chef lovers, as well as for photography. So that's how I came to know about Monomosame.
Okay, that's something great. And since you talked about stumbling upon Monomosame, especially during this period, how did finding this platform impact your writing?
Okay, like the art of writing is so mesmerizing. So whenever we feel depressed, whenever we feel sad, like writing, it is like writer's best friend. So whenever I feel depressed, whenever I feel sad, I sit along with a book and a paper so that I could chase away my loneliness. And whenever like one of the most important thing that I have learned from Monomosame is that it is also an international platform. So whenever I take part there, it has reshaped me, it has motivated me, it has uh, germinated my life uh, into more eagerness to writing as well as competing with other competitors. So that's it.
Your thoughts really resonate with me. I too find like the solace when I write something down. What's in my mind when I pen it down, it's like thank God I had written it, or I would have forgotten it at some point of time.
Yes,
So
yes,
yes. So you are a science student, especially you are in the field of biology because you're gonna be a doctor
yes.
soon. So how did your passion for writing come into place?
Okay. Um, Talking about that, actually, it was my paternal uncle who told me to devote my time even for writing. So talking about my passion, actually, I was not knowing how to communicate in English language as well. Whenever I try to converse with my friends in English language, I was feeling like embarrassed and I was unable to cope with their level. So in order to tackle with their standard, um, to tackle with their level, I also took a very in-depth decision so that on writing, so that I can also improve my communication skill, reading skill through writing. So in short, I could say that writing has really sharpened, has really reshaped my way of speaking as well as my way of reading as well. So that is how I flared my passion into writing.
Then we must thank your uncle for this. Definitely, he has done something really good. And
Yes, yeah.
being hesitant while talking, I think it's all like our problem everywhere, because being an Indian, it's like we always communicate in our mother tongue and English comes
Yes, yeah.
second. So whenever we talk to someone in English, we get hesitant, and that happens quite a lot. It happens with me also. So this is a very common problem. Now, since you told me about your uncle, I'll ask you, is he the inspiration behind your writing journey?
Yes, I can say that, of course, he is one who inspired me and who motivated me to devote my time in writing.
What did your family think when you really won this competition and you got a position? What was their reaction?
Well, my parents' reaction was like they were they were also astonished. They were amazed when they saw my name in the winners list. And like moreover, Monomosame is not it is not the national level, it is the international level. So even by the name itself, since it is international essay writing competition, so by seeing the name, by seeing my certificate, they were all happy with amazement.
Okay, then you are multi-talented. You are going to be a doctor and you are a winner of an international essay competition. That's something really good. Now, let me ask you something else. Like, since you have written articles and essays, do you think that there is a structured form that should be, followed while you are writing an essay?
Like the most common form of writing an essay is to follow the thesis. That is what most many people says. Of course, it is mandatory for all the writers to follow the thesis. Now, as per my knowledge, if we want to write a good structured essay, then we must also we must also think out of the box. And like most of the time, if the writers want their essay to be more unique, more creative, then starting their writing by raising a question, or starting their writing by quoting a quotation, and starting their writing or any article by narrating some stories can help the essay to look more creative and interesting for the readers as well.
Even listening to you is making me feel that you would have written a great essay. I would have loved to read your piece, definitely, because starting with a quotation or an intriguing story actually attracts
Yes,
the
yes,
audience, that they want to read more and more. So, moving on,
yes, yes.
like I talked about reading, do you think that reading more equals writing better?
Um, all right, then like reading is actually equivalent to writing because especially for writers, it is very much important to read more books in order to write down something. Whenever we read books, we gain knowledge, we gain more ideas, and whenever we put that reading into writing, then we are able to write our writing more informative and more innovative way. So if we write in that way, then even the readers will feel more amazing. They will feel more interesting to read our writing. So of course, reading is very much important and very much equal to writing.
So, I'll ask you a little bit of a philosophical question now. Like, what does success to you? How would you define success for yourself?
Uh, okay. As per my definition, I can say that overcoming the failure, but not overshadowing by failure, can be termed as success. Like for let me let me give some lengthy answer here for the question that you have raised. So like most of the time when we talk about success, many people think that when they achieve something great in life, they say that is success. Of course, that is a success. But as for me, in order to succeed once, we have to fail many times. So no matter how many times we fail, we have to get up. We have to learn something from our weaknesses. we have to learn something from our failure. So when we do something like that, one day or the other, we will achieve it. So that is the definition of success.
Very beautifully put. And actually, listening to you made me feel that yes, you're a writer. You really explained it very nicely. So, if I ask you something else, what is your preferred time of writing? Is there a preferred time of writing? Are you an early riser or a night owl?
Um, I could say I early riser.
Okay, so means even if you are studying, you wake up early in the morning and start your, studies.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God. I don't even remember the last time I woke up that early to study. So, so what do you think is the most difficult part of writing an essay?
Okay. So one of the most difficult part of writing an essay is um, like the feelings that we have, the emotions that we have whenever we try to write, whenever we try to convert our feelings and emotions into word. Like I feel sad and I feel worried that um, the readers may not understand what I'm writing. So that is one of the most difficult tasks that I came across while writing.
Okay, yeah. So you think from the perspective of the audience that will they understand what you are writing
Yes,
or they'll take it
yes, yes,
something differently? Yeah, that always crosses
yes.
our mind when we put that pen to paper. So, since you talked about feelings and emotions, many people say that until and unless you have strong feelings or strong emotions, you cannot be a writer. So, do you agree with this thing?
Um, yes, of course, I agree because like when it comes to writing, feelings and emotion help the readers to enter into their own imaginary world and sometimes into their own fantasy world as well. So writing it has the power to uh, explore our imaginary thinking, our imaginary feelings and emotions with someone, with the readers.
Right. Some things I really agree to that until and unless you have feelings and you put that down on paper, how will people get to know what you are wanting to, feel, make them feel, and that emotion should resonate. Like your words are resonating with me. So definitely it's a good part. Lastly, I definitely want to ask you, do you have a message for the future contestants or students who want to enter this field of creative writing or these competitions?
Okay, all right. Then I would say that like before, writing is so mesmerizing. It is like writer's best friend. So whenever we feel sad, whenever we feel depressed, in order to chase away our loneliness, we note it down or we play with writing. So that is how writing it really helps us. That is, moreover, when we talk about writing, it really enriches, cherishes, refreshes, as well as give relief to our mind as well as to our soul as well.
Those were some
And moreover, like
adjectives that you used.
writing, it really help us in germination of our more in germinating our knowledge in our thinking capability as well. So that's the message that I'd like to give to the future aspirant writers.
You put those words beautifully for the audience, and as for me also, it was beautiful hearing you. And I would like to say that you are, an example that it does not matter if you are a science student or you're following a different profession or you aim to become an engineer, doctor. It doesn't matter. Inside your heart, you can always be a writer. So I also wish that people, bring out their writers. And we had a lovely conversation. Thank you so much for taking out your time and talking to us. I thank you so much. I'm really
Thank you.
happy and elated.
Okay, most welcome. Same here.